Is the Benoni pawn structure actually good for white, or does it become a black weapon? The surprise is the flip. White peaks at 58.2% around chess.com 950 to 1150, then drops to just 43.3% by 1500 to 1750. Same structure, very different results. The basic Benoni deal is simple. White gets space with the pawn on d5 and often builds with e4, f4, and e5. Black accepts less space but gets queenside play, the g7 bishop, and the famous b5 break. So the question is not who is better on move 6, it is who understands the race. At lower intermediate levels, white's space is easier to play. In the 600 to 750 chess.com range, white scores 52.6% in the Benoni, ahead of the 48.1% baseline for all 1.d4 games. Around 950 to 1150, that jumps to 58.2%. White can often build a center before black's counterplay arrives. But once black players learn the timing, the Benoni changes character. In the 1150 to 1500 band, white falls to 46.4%. By 1500 to 1750, white is down near 43.3%, while the 1.d4 baseline stays around 50%. That suggests the opening rewards active defensive skill more than raw memorization. Why is the swing so sharp? Because the Benoni is a calculation tax. Across the bands, both sides average roughly 6.6 to 9.0 major blunders per game. If black rushes tactics like (xe4), the position can collapse. If black prepares counterplay correctly, white's space can become overextension. The king's pawn line shows the most dramatic decay. White scores about 86% around the 750 to 950 level, but only about 42% in the 1500 to 1750 range. That is the practical warning. A line that wins because opponents do not know the setup may stop working once they do. For white, do not just enjoy the space. Convert it with central control, accurate timing, and respect for b5. For black, do not drift passively and do not rush the break. The Benoni works when black creates counterplay on purpose, not by hope. The research used 430 Benoni games from Lichess Rapid, compared against more than 200,000 baseline 1.d4 games. Ratings were mapped into chess.com style bands, and positions were evaluated with Stockfish 17. So treat the exact numbers as sample-based, but the pattern is the useful part. The Benoni gets more dangerous for white as black players learn the plans.